doing, Mr. Red?
I'm tired. I've been in the yard working, Quincy. I got about 7 acres here, and it's always something to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like another project.
How'd you make out on the storm? You get through that okay?
Oh, yeah. It kind of eased to the side. You know, it kind of went over more like towards Lafayette.
Yeah.
So we kind of got dodged. We got a little bit of rain and a little bit of wind.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you got through that okay. And you got my pictures I sent you, right?
Yeah. Yep. I'm
Okay.
going to be showing that on this video to come out of this.
Okay. You'll notice on that one where it had pearl and apples, I read an article one time that said, you know, that there was a Jocko and Argo and Pearl and Apples and a couple other good dogs, but actually Pearl and Apples was the same dog. I named her Pearl, and then Fletcher changed it to Apples. So some people make it sound like there was 2 different dogs, but she was the same dog. She was the one he bred Jocko to her to start those yellow dogs. Brother sister breeding, yeah.
Yeah, he bred Jocko to Apples, right? Yeah.
Apples, yeah. And I named her Pearl, and he changed it to Apples, but that was a brother-sister breeding that kind of got things started. But, yeah, it was the same dog. And, of course, Queenie was his mom, and Argo is his litter mate. So I was glad to share those with you.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome to see him. I never seen him as pups.
I think that's probably one of the few pictures of Argo that was ever taken. You know, if you go on the computer, they don't have a picture of him in there, and you might want to post that because they don't have a picture of him.
Oh yeah, that's true. I never seen Argo before.
Yeah,
there's a couple pictures of Jocko out there. That's why I asked you to text about the picture with Fletcher.
Yeah, I don't have any of Jocko grown. You know, he was gone at 3 months old, so those are the only pictures I have of him as a puppy, you know. And in that picture that you sent me, the old man on the left was Fletcher, and the guy on the right was his son, Junior.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, what did you expect that Jocko would turn out to be what he turned out to be, you know?
Not a clue in the world. Let me tell you, that was... I at the time, Quincy, I didn't know anything about bloodlines or nothing. I was just getting started, and I'd gotten Queenie from William Cable up in Newland, North Carolina, and I liked her. And Vernon and I was friends. Vernon was from Texas, but he was stationed in the Marines in South Carolina, at Beaufort, South Carolina, so we saw each other at shows and became good friends. And I just had a dog I liked, and I liked his dog, and boom, I had no idea that something like this would ever happen. You know, not a clue in the world. It was just, I had a dog I liked, and I saw a dog I liked. Didn't even know anything about Mayfield at the time or anything. So,
wow.
It's just, it's amazing to me that it's gotten to the point where it is. It's just, and I'm so proud of people like you that keep the breed honest, you know. It just does something for my soul to say, hey, these dogs came off my yard 30 years ago, you know.
Wow. Now, you said, Jocko's father was from the Mayfield line, right?
Yeah, Jocko's Hank. Vernon got Hank from Don Mayfield out in Mesquite, Texas. Like I said, Vernon was from Texas. He knew Don. And that dog was double-crossed out of his Lightning 2 dog. And he was a bad little boy. Yeah, he was. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Vernon told me that a rattlesnake bit him and killed him. I think that's how he met his demise, if I'm not mistaken.
That was Hank?
Yeah, Hank. Yeah. He was a good dog. He was a real good dog. And like I said, Vernon didn't charge me anything. He didn't even take a puppy because it wasn't pure Mayfield stuff. And I went down to Beaufort, and we partied and bred dogs and shrimped and cooked out all weekend. And he just bred Hank to Queenie because we were friends, you know. No money passed hands, and no dogs were involved in it and all. It's just some of that stuff happened back in those days, you know.
Wow. Yeah. So, so Jocko's side was heavy on the Lightning 2 dog, and Queenie was heavy on
if you go back far enough of Queenie, she has a lot of Hemphill, Bob Hemphill, up in, he was from Somerville, South Carolina, bred a lot of red-nosed dogs back in those days. And she was heavy on that side. She had some, Lonzo Pratt's Andy was back in there, and, a couple of good dogs like that, but she was mostly, Hemphill red-nosed.
Oh, wow. I thought they was like all dark, black nose though. So that side has some of the red nose.
Yeah. Hemphill mostly had red-nosed dogs. That's what he was famous for. And there's some other stuff in there if you go back far enough. And, but the majority of her was Hemphill.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let's see. So what did you keep when you did that breeding with Hank and Queenie? Did you hold any back for a while or keep any off that breeding?
I'll tell you what happened. There was 8 dogs in the litter, 3 males and 5 females, and she raised all of them. And I had a cowboy friend of mine that did the hog hunting and round up cattle and stuff that got loose. I gave him the biggest dog out of the litter, and he made a catch dog out of him. And I got rid of 3 females to friends of mine for pets. And I kept Jocko and Argo and Pearl, and I had a little dog I called Ruby Begonia. I kept her. And then Fletcher bought Jocko and Pearl, and I kept Argo and Ruby. I should have kept the whole litter.
Yeah.
If I'd have had any idea how that would have turned out. But see, the thing about it, if I'd have kept the dogs, this wouldn't have happened, because you got to give all the credit to Fletcher. He's the one that did all the breeding, and he was a little slight of a man. He probably was 5'2" and maybe weighed 115 pounds. And I never saw him without a Chesterfield in his mouth. Never. And he was a frame carpenter, lived in a little town in South Carolina, Nesis, South Carolina. And he had cut most of his left hand off with a skill saw. So he was, he probably made a whole lot more money breeding dogs than he did working. He was not a man of great means, but he was like a genius when it came to breeding dogs. He just had that knack of what was going to work, and you got to give him all the credit. Jocko may have come off my yard, but Fletcher gets all the credit, because I wouldn't have done what he did. I didn't have time and stuff, and it amazes me that it took place.
Yeah.
And when you go on the Redboy side, R.E. Bass owned Redboy, and if you look in the pedigrees, you'll see a lot of Marlowe stuff also. Katie Marlowe and Bass were business associates. All those dogs came from Howard Teal in Waitsburg, North Carolina. They go back to the old Colby bloodline. But anytime you see Bass and Marlowe, that was the same yard. Katie was the money girl, and Bass just kind of hung on, I guess. But that's the Redboy side of it over there. And now Redboy was a dead game dog, but he had a real soft mouth.
Yeah.
And but he was a game dog. He really was.
And that's what Jocko was kind of the opposite of that, huh?
Well, Jocko was game, and he could bite a nail in two. That was the difference. He was a hard biting dog. Hank was a real hard biting dog, and Argo. I think Argo could probably bite just as hard as Jocko, if not harder. But they had 2 completely different styles. It was like a Joe Frazier and a Muhammad Ali. Frazier just barrels in and just fights, and Muhammad Ali he's a tactician, and that's what Argo was. He was a gentleman almost, But all them dogs were game. All of them were game. And what Jocko added to the deal was just the bite, the roughness. And he was more athletic than Redboy. Redboy was a good dog, but Jocko.
He had the heart,
yeah. He actually he produced better dogs than what he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, his puppies were better than he was. So, but together it made a tremendous breeding, you know, bloodlines, and it just amazes me sometimes when I see the desire all over the world for these dogs now, you know?
Yeah, that was kind of leading to another question. I was gonna ask you, did you expect, you know, that cross, that Redboy Jocko cross, to be one of the most sought after lines?
I would have never imagined it. You know, I wouldn't even fathom it, because Bass and I were not big buddies. You know, he got to run his mouth one time about Argo. Said, yeah, he bites hard, but he's not game. So I called him on the telephone and offered him. I said, he's open. You want some of him? And Bass curved down on it, you know. But anyway, I would have not had any business with him because we weren't that big of friends. Him and Fletcher were good friends, but he and Bass didn't get along that good together. So that would, I never would have thought in my whole wildest dreams this would have happened, you know.
Wow.
And
you got a good hand early, you know, with the dogs. You got Queenie and did what you done with her, so. Yeah,
that's the only time I ever bred her. That was a big mistake too. And I only bred Argo one time. A friend of mine had an old dog with papers, and he wanted some puppies. So I wasn't really into having a whole bunch of dogs at one time, you know. So I would have never done what Fletcher did. And I just, like I said, that's the reason I reached out to you when I saw what you were doing with your dogs and keeping that bloodline true as you can. It just, it makes me feel good. It makes an old man feel good.
Oh yeah.
It really does, you know.
You come back and look, you know.
When I looked at your video, it reminds me of going out my back door 40 years ago. You know, the dogs look just like, well, you look at Queenie and Argo. You know, your dogs look just like that. And it's just, it's amazing, you know. It just takes me back 30 or 40 years when I watch you on your videos and when you yard tour. Did you ever get a piece of property there? You ever get something?
Yeah. I actually got a couple of acres that I'm working on. Going through a little something with it right now. I got to get water put there, so I've been having to put water in.
Yeah.
Get big containers, you know, multiple containers.
Yeah.
And it's been a little hassle, but you know, I'm working on getting a trailer put in, then I can get a well put in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know what a hassle it can be. I moved my yard 3 times, and it was a chore. You know, to move all those dogs. I did it 3 times, and that's what finally I called Vernon and told him to come get everything. I let him have Argo and Queenie and all the buckets and the chains and the feed bowls. I said, just come get them, man. And he did. He came and got them. I guess he sold Argo to Scotty McNeil up in North Carolina. And I don't know what became of Queenie, but
Is that wasn't one of them kind of queer, you know, kind of gay or something like that?
Oh, what happened? Jocko, where Jocko ended up, I can tell you that story. There was a gay guy in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and Fletcher sold Jocko to this guy for $7,000. And to put things in perspective, Quincy, it would be like somebody coming on your yard and taking one of your favorite males and giving you $100,000 for him. That's how much. Yeah, that's how much $7,000 was to Fletcher. Like I said, he just was a man, didn't have many means. He was a man of little means. So anyway, he sold Jocko this gay guy in Winston-Salem, and the guy got busted, and they euthanized all the dogs. That's how Jocko died. Yeah, they euthanized all of his dogs. So that's what happened on that deal.
Wow. Yeah, that was a McNeil guy, right?
No,
No.
I don't know if his name. No, that was McNeil ended up with Argo.
Argo, yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
Argo.
Vernon. I guess he gave him or sold him, or knowing Vernon, he sold him. You know, and he didn't want Argo because he wasn't full Mayfield. That's how dedicated Vernon was to Don Mayfield's breed. But I don't remember what happened. Argo, he was up in eastern North Carolina somewhere. I never met McNeil. I never met him. But Jocko went to Winston-Salem, and when that guy got busted, they euthanized all the dogs.
Wow.
That's how that happened, yeah.
Damn.
Just hate to see that happen. You know, you'd rather the dog die of old age on your yard than something like that happen.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, I guess that was supposed to happen, But, I mean, even while you had the dogs, you did what you were supposed to do, and just, history took place after that,
Yeah. Well, it's just like Ruby. Ruby won 4, and I went out there one morning. She had gotten tangled up and choked herself on the chain. And that's, stuff like that happens, So I've had dogs get bit by snakes and stuff like that. You just don't ever know.
That's how I lost my yellow man to a snake. Yeah, those snakes will get them, boy.
Oh, yeah, and them dogs will go after them snakes. That's the bad part. They don't run from them. They'll go after them, and usually they'll lose. But that's the way it goes, right? That's just. I've buried so many dogs in my life. You don't ever get used to it, but it's just something that happens. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Now, have you took a look at some of the dogs we have today? Like the different dogs we have. I know you probably heard of like Mayday.
Yeah, I look all the time. I look all the time and see the pedigrees, and I don't know any of these people anymore. I don't know anybody that is raising them and stuff, but I go in there and look at Jocko Redboy dogs in different people's yards and kind of try to keep up with it, Try to keep up with it a little bit because it's still part of my dogs,
Yeah.
And I understand, you get to the point. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I just heard something on the phone. Let me look just a second.
Okay.
That's all right. I'll call back later on that. But it's just something you do. You can only go so tight, and then you got to get something else. You got to get something a little different so your dog won't have 3 eyes and a tail growing out the back of his head.
Yeah, that's true.
You can only go so tight for so long, and then you got to go reach out to something that's a little different and throw in there to keep that from happening. Because you'll get to the point where the dogs will all be deformed and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
They definitely
my son got into breeding bullies there, and I kept telling them that they can't do what they're doing, and they ended up with a whole litter of deformed puppies because of that. They wouldn't listen. So, yeah. Let me stand here just a second. So.
Okay.
Hey, buddy. Yeah. That's my grandson wanting the key. I think that's it right there, Levi.
But hey.
Okay.
Hey, Bob.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna call you again and we'll do another convo. I'm gonna have to cut this one short. But
okay.
If you don't mind, we'll call you.
Yeah, I told you I was gonna try to go to Lake Charles next month, and that's off because my daughter got real sick and is not able to go. So, I'd love to get out there and have a sit down with you and have a video something one day if you'd like to.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to cut it short, but we'll definitely finish up the conversation.
Okay. All right. Anytime. Let's just keep in touch and we'll make it happen.
All right, that'll work.
Okay, we'll talk to you later, Quincy. All right.
Later.
All right. Bye. Bye.